Okay, for the video this month, I was gonna do a spin the wheel for my TBR, but that's gonna end up being next month because this one I'm gonna be talking about the books that I'm most excited for to read the rest of this year. Because I don't really feel like spinning the wheel for a TBR and having a set TBR this month, and it's already the 5th, so I'm a little behind on that anyway. So I'm gonna tell you what books I'm most excited about and kind of give you a reason why. So let's get into it. Hopefully the backdrop and stuff isn't too terrible for you guys. I have books scattered all over my house right now and no place to sit and film properly. I'm trying to get a 4th bookshelf to kind of put in like my little office area that I have, but I can't find a bookshelf that I like, so I don't want to just get a bookshelf, but I need another bookshelf, which is why I have so many books everywhere right now. So we're just gonna film this and hope for the best, and the background is gonna be boring, but that's okay. So the first book is actually a book I just got. It's Little Women. I've never read this, and I got it in this pretty like bound edition. My one friend said it's really good and the movie's really good. I haven't seen either of them, and I'm not necessarily branching out from fantasy with what I read, but I do like to try to mix it up every now and then and get books that aren't fantasy related as palette cleansers, so this is gonna be one of them. And plus it just looks pretty. So I'm excited to have this one. This is one of the ones I want to read. I've said this one before and I'll say it again and I'll probably keep saying it, but Lessons in Chemistry. My mom recommended me this book and this is her copy that she left me to read, and I haven't gotten to it. I have not gone to it at all, and I should, and I keep saying that, and every time I talk about it, I say I'm going to do it, and then I don't actually do it. So by the end of the year is the goal. Okay, I'm not going to say this month, next month, end of the year, this will be done. It will be done. I feel it. This also, I don't know why I haven't read it, because it's also one, again, another good palette cleanser from being a fantasy book, because it's historical fiction. I don't know. In this book, we follow Elizabeth Zott, I believe is her name, as she kind of raises a little girl on her own. She's also a chemist, and she works for a TV show as like their like Miss Chef lady. But during the cooking show, she uses the scientific names for things. So salt is NaCl, sodium chloride, right? And inspires young women to be able to expand their horizons and reach for things, other things, right? So it's right up my alley and is a good palette cleanser. So I don't know why I haven't gotten to it. I just keep not. Next one, and the only reason I'm hesitant to start reading this one is because I'm trying not to buy as many books, but if I read this one, then I'm gonna have to get the 2nd and 3rd book in the series, and I don't want to, but that's not even like that good of a reason to not read it. It is Jade City. I've heard so good about this, like so many things that are great about this book. Do I know what this book is about? No, but I've heard so many people praise it and they love it, and it's like a sci-fi fantasy, like pillar, one of the big books. So I'm sure it's great. I'm sure it's amazing. Can I tell you what it's about? No. And I'll just bite the bullet. Maybe when I go home, I'll go book shopping with my parents and they'll buy it for me. But I will get this and I will read this because it sounds so good. And, well, I mean, I don't know if it sounds good. Everyone says it's good and I trust the people. You know what I mean? For better or for worse, I trust my book talk recs. I trust them. Another one, this is an oldie. It's The Bridge Kingdom. I have the first 3 books. I want to say there's like 6 total. I've gotten a lot of these as like buy one, get one 50% offs. I don't know if that's a red flag or not, but this was a Book Talk darling back in the day. Now the covers are being redesigned because they got traditionally published. And I just feel like it'll be a nice little, like, I don't know if it's YA or adult fantasy, but I feel like it'll be good. And every now and then I do love to read like your traditional royal fantasy type of book, because I love books that like have new premises and think differently and do completely different things. But I also do love an oldie but goodie, which is like she's a princess, he's the king, yada yada, you know, type of thing. And I think that's what this is, and so I'm excited because it's always like one that like I get an itch for them every now and then, and it's hard to find good books that scratch that itch. So excited to have these 3. Another one though, if I start reading it, then I'm going to have to buy the next 3 books in the series to have the complete series, so it's like I'm hesitant to read it for that reason. Next up is The Shadow of What Was Lost. I've talked about this one so many times, and I keep saying I'm going to read it. I just haven't. And it's not even because it's a big book, because I read 3 big books last month. I just haven't sat down to start it, and I think that's going to be the issue, is like I need to make sure I sit down and start it. I also own the 3rd book already, so I just need the 2nd book. I just need to get the 2nd book, but I just need to make sure I make time to sit down and read this, because I've heard such great things. Another thing, like Jade City, this is a big one in the sci-fi fantasy area that I just haven't read yet, and I don't know why, because I know I'm going to love it when I do. I just need to make myself sit down and read this book. And I think the reason I'm hesitating is because it is like, it seems like a longer book, but it's only 600 pages. So it's like not even like that big as compared to like other fantasy books. Like this is just a normal fantasy length. So I don't know. I just need to make myself sit down and read it, and I just haven't gotten around to doing that. Next, which honestly I think I'll read this one sooner rather than later. It's Blood Over Brighthaven by Emma Wong. I'm really excited for. I have been trying to get Sword of Kaigen, and I cannot find it at my Books A Million, so I'm kind of irritated about it, and I've ranted about that before in Books A Million before, so I'm not going to do it here today. But I've heard great things about this book. It has an amazing premise. We follow a mage, Sonia, and she kind of gets into the High Magistrate, which she's the first female to do that, and you know, it's a boys club and they are not welcoming, and they kind of assign her lab assistant or magical assistant. They assign Ojander, but Ojander has a backstory. He slipped outside of the magical area, like city, I guess, suburban thing, and then him and his family, like he had to come into the city, and he started working in the magistrate because the outside world was kind of becoming, I think, unlivable. And so they kind of pair up to try to figure out what's going on, because as everyone knows, magic always has a cost and a price has to be paid. And so they're trying to figure out what it is, and they uncover the secrets. So I'm really excited. I know I'm going to eat this up. I've heard that Emma Wong is an amazing author, amazing writer. So I'm just really excited to get to this one. And then I'm going to hunt down Sword of Kaigen. I'm going to hunt it down, or I'm going to order it online. I'm going to get it. So yeah. So the next one is A Study in Drowning by Ava Reed. I also don't know, I might be lying right now. I might be lying to you. I don't know if this is on my before the end of the year, because I do think that there's a 2nd book to this one. Yeah, I think there's a 2nd one, so now I don't know if I actually want to read it. I kind of forgot that there might have been one, and now I'm not as excited to read it knowing that it might be a duology or a trilogy. I was hoping for just a standalone. But it's still, I guess I'll still include it here. I like Ava Reed. I've read multiple Ava Reed books. I like how she writes. I like that she writes twisted fantasy. Not twisted fantasy. She writes fantasy in the same way like that I feel like Grimm's Fairy Tale, like the original ones, are kind of written. That may be crazy. Call me out in the comments if you want. It does give that eerie fantasy vibe, and I really like that. I don't know if that's what these ones are like, but hopefully. Next is Night in the Moth by Rachel Gillig. I read another duology. One Dark Window, Two Twisted Crowns. I enjoyed it. I really liked the ending. I liked the 2nd book. I thought it was cool, magical, unique magic system. This one I'm excited about. I don't really know very much about it, but I think Rachel Gillig is one of those authors that I'm probably just going to buy because I like her work. And I like the other 2 books, and duology was nice. Also has the sprayed edges, which are pretty. And I've seen fan arts of this, so I'm kind of trying to avoid spoilers and the fan arts. So this one probably will get read sooner rather than later, just kind of like Blood Over Brighthaven, because I don't want to be spoiled for this book. I've already seen at least the artwork of what the characters look like, which is not that big of a spoiler, but I am nervous for more to come. I'm probably going to read this sooner than later. And the final book is Dragon Fruit. I think this is just a YA. I think, honestly, I might read this month. Don't know if it's a series, don't know if it's a standalone. I kind of hope it is a standalone just so I can have it as a palette cleanser. But it might end up being a series. Either way, I think the cover is stunning. I'm really excited about this. This has like a unique storyline, one that I haven't read about or seen in a while. I haven't seen it ever. We follow Hanalei, whose father steals a sea dragon egg, which causes their family to go in exile to kind of bring them back from exile. Hanalei then meets a dragon, and that's kind of her in back into their community, or at least that's what she hopes. And then we also have Sam, who is the next in line for the society, except for this is a matriarchal society. Slay. And that means he either has to marry or he has to find a cure to help cure the current matriarchal. So he goes out on a little journey adventure, and I do think they end up meeting up and journeying together. So I'm excited. This is a premise that I haven't read about or heard before. I don't know if it's a standalone. I'll put in if it's a series or a standalone when I edit this. But for now, I'm excited. And that does kind of make up the few books that I want to read this year. We'll see if I get to it or not. It's really anybody's guess, truly. But thanks for watching, and stay tuned. Bye!